Welcome to the online physics class. Very good evening, everybody. A good evening to the student and those who are watching the video. Today I am going to start about Newton's first law of motion. In the chapter number 4, chapter 2, force and motion, including Newton's law of motion. Today we will discuss about the Newton's law of motion, first law of motion. First law of motion states that every object remain a state of rest or in a uniform motion unless an external force act on the body to change the state of rest or in the motion. That means if a body is moving, it will be remain moving. One example I will give you, it will be clear for you. Suppose Earth is moving around the sun. It will never be stopped because there is no external force can stop the motion of Earth. So Earth will keeping moving day, night, throughout the year and all the time and time. Same thing happen. A plants or tree is or any house on the earth remain in the rest position. We cannot move it because there is no such an external force that can change the rest position. A moving ball over the floor will keep moving unless if we applied any opposite force. Same thing happen. A moving train will remain move over the period of time unless driver give a opposite force through the brake. When the driver applied brake, that means he applied force and train come to the rest. Same thing happen when a ball is moving over the floor. External force like frictional force, air's blowing force and other force try to stop the ball to move over the floor. When this external force became more than the applied force, then the ball stopped forever. So, two property we can find from this first law of motion. One thing is that a universal property of matter is that it is called inertia. Inertia means any object, if it is in rest, try to be rest, and if it is in motion, it will be continue into the motion. So, inertia is the condition of rest or motion. It is a properties of object. Inertia are two types, inertia of rest and inertia of motion. I earlier discussed that when a body is in a motion, it try to remain in motion. So it is called the inertia of motion. Whereas a body, when it is in rest, it try to keep in a rest. It is called inertia of rest. Another thing we come from first law of motion is that about the force. Force is an external agent which applied over the object and change the state of rest or of motion. So, force can be defined as that if force is something which clearly define that if force is something which must be applied on a body from outside to produce a change or a tendency of change in its state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line.